most terrifying dreams for me was a dream of me being on a basketball court. Stadium's full. I'm attacking the basket, and I can't get off the ground. I can't jump. Like I'm stuck. Like I'm cemented to the floor. I was conscious of the fact that I was dreaming. So now I'm trying to control my dream. You can jump through it. You can push through it. You can get to that basket. And no matter how hard I tried, my legs were too heavy. Can't jump.
More than a share of disappointment has also provided us with numerous thrills, and Laker fans are looking for more here tonight with 3 games remaining and destiny in the Laker hands to get back into the playoffs where they usually do well.
My warm-ups are always just kind of doing a mental check of my body, like what's tight, what's pulling on me, what's not pulling on me, how do I loosen it up, how to get things going. And my body felt a little stiff.
He's got 4 seconds on the shot clock.
He spins, turns, far away, short. Taken by Jared Jack.
I remember getting loosed up, getting going, and then finally the game kind of working myself into a lather. My body felt good.
Here he comes. Kobe around the back, spinning, shooting, scoring.
I had never worked so much in my entire career in terms of preparation and getting my body physically ready night in and night out. And I've been playing some of my best basketball.
Bryant attacking baseline, and he runs into a stone wall of Festus Ezeli, and he's holding his left knee, battling through, trying to make the playoffs, playing all these minutes, and as he has it, spinning in trouble. Oh, and he's limping, he's hurt. Kobe's hurt. I mean, these minutes might be just absolutely adding up.
Oh, there's no question they're adding up. No question.
What I always try to do through injuries is not think about them, because when the game itself is more significant than the injury, you don't feel the injury. The injury won't get in the way because it's not important to you.
Kobe, 3, yes! Big one, Bryant from outside. 107-104, 3-point game, 5 minutes left. Kobe, guarded by the rookie, Harrison Barnes. Kobe, one-on-one, isolated for the tie. He's got it, it's 107 all.
The Mamba is looking like the Mamba.
Bryant again going to work, falls down. Again, he's struggling. He's going to stay down there for a bit.
As soon as I made the move, I knew it.
I mean, that's the Achilles. I shouldn't say that. That's the foot injury.
It feels like the shock absorbers in the back of your foot are just gone. There's just nothing there. So when you walk, it's like, it feels like your calf muscle is touching the floor. And I could feel it rolling up the back of my calf, as if it was just kind of slipping up further and further. I remember feeling the silence. I remember feeling the fear. 35 years old, 17, 18 years in the league. Like, this could be a wrap. And that's what the silence was. It was like, this could really be a wrap for you.
He could barely make it to the free throw line. Bryant tonight with 32 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And he is hurting. But the Lakers down by 2, and they want him and need him at the free throw line. Got it. Bryant cannot continue. The crowd. The ovation.
And he's going to, I would assume he'd go straight to the locker room.
Family walks in. It's Vanessa and our daughters. And, you know, I'm already, you know, I've been crying and I had tears in my eyes. I don't think I was crying yet. I was more upset. Like this could be the end. In the locker room, on the court, around my teammates, I've always tried to be very strong and be invincible. Not be Clark Kent, but be Superman. And then your family comes in, and now that is home. That's where you can be you. And I just let it go. I mean, I couldn't hold on to it anymore, you know. And you don't, you know, looking at my daughter's faces, I mean, they were genuinely afraid, right? Because they could feel something, they could feel the tension, but didn't really know exactly why. And you know, as a parent, the first thing that comes to your mind is when you see your kids afraid, you want them to not be afraid, right? You want to give them strength, you want to give them courage, you want to reassure them. And the only way I could reassure them is by telling them, hey, daddy's okay. You know, it's gonna be all right. You know, it's a little setback, but we'll be fine, right? You know, this is what we talk about all the time. You know, you have a bump in the road, you fall, you get back up, and you go after it again, right? That's what we do. And so even at the time, I didn't believe it myself. I felt like it was important to say that to them because I felt they needed to hear that. And as a parent, you can't just talk the talk. You gotta walk the walk, and you gotta be brave in these type of situations. If not for yourself, then for your kids.
Kobe, are you convinced that they told us probable torn Achilles? They're going to do an MRI. Are you pretty convinced that's what it is?
Yeah.
But if anyone's going to get through this, probably you.
Oh, man. Shit.
You've had tons of personal and professional challenges in your career. Is this at the top of the list?
Yeah. You know, but you know, it's fueling me. It's fueling me. I can feel it already. I can feel it already. It's just, you know, players at this stage of their career, you know, they pop Achilles and, you know, the pundits say they never come back the same. So I can hear it already. And it's pissing me off right now, just thinking about it.
So this isn't the last game that we'll see you play?
Really?
Well, no, you said, I'm not trying to be rude.
Really?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to...
It's appropriate that you ask that question from down there. This injury was Mount Everest for me personally, because I knew what the long road was going to be. So, you know, at that point, you have to make a decision. You have to make a choice.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Goes up there, it goes down below.
Kind of a suture removal.
It's fabulous, no swelling, huh?
Nice tension in it.
Yeah, great tension. Kobe, the tension is just perfect.
It is?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Can you feel me? Can you feel me touching you here?
Yeah.
That's sural nerve.
Yeah. Yeah. Even his healing is...
Yeah.
He's got good healing capabilities there. He doesn't have any burning there, so that's so great. He's got this medial nerve.
This looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Russ, if you can just hold that. Okay, and then just go ahead and open up the cling. Point your whole foot up towards the ceiling. That's it. And relax. And up. Push it up. Hold it up there. Hold it up, hold it up, hold it up. Now go ahead and move your finger. Let him hold it himself. And let it relax.
Wow. Shut these naysayers up once and for all.
Bryant puts it on the floor, gets inside of Spencer. Oh, that's on top of Kareem and the building. Jelly bean, made like Daryl Dockett. Bryant arms the building shaker. Look at this, way up there, and he slams it down. Look at his body, how high he is in the air. That's incredible.
He used to be really sore from playing, you know, so he would have his kids walk on his back, which I thought was really fun. Trying to stand on your father's back and you're cracking his back as you're walking on top of him. I always thought that was pretty cool. He used to walk on his hamstrings and stuff. He was a ball handling guard at 6'10" that could shoot the long ball, and he had all the skills. He had all the skills. Fans loved him. You know, he could do virtually anything.
Bryant, tiro da 3 punti, finge il tiro da 3 punti, brucia. Tolbert, bellissimo.
So he played in the NBA for 8 years and decided if he wanted to further his career and play the way he wanted to play, he should make the transition to play overseas and play in Italy. So he took us with him.
Bene, alle nostre spalle abbiamo visto anche un bel primo piano di Pamela Bryant, la signora Bryant, la moglie di Joe Bryant, grande protagonista del...
I was 6, and at 6, you just go with the flow. You move into a place where you don't speak the language at all. You have friends there, and after 2 years, you bounce to another city. Now you have to start again. And then 2 years later, it repeats itself. 2 years later, that repeats itself. And now you really don't know anybody, and you have to figure things out all over again. I would be more than happy just to tag along, just to be around that atmosphere, be around the game, and be a ball boy, and just kind of be in the mix. I would sit under the basket the entire game and I'd have one of those big, court sweeper things. Something happened on the court, somebody slipped or some sweat. I was really anal about making sure I got every last drop up. It was a rush to be that close. I used to try to sleep with my clothes on. You know, if you needed to get to practice, I didn't want to feel like I was gonna make them late or something. I mean, they would do 2 practices a day and that sort of stuff. And I'd want to go, I begged to go, but he wouldn't let me go. So I would disappear and go play basketball. The thing that was always the most constant was the game. And that was my refuge. That was the place where I could go and have complete familiarity, no matter where I was, whether it was Rieti or Reggio Calabria or Reggio Emilia or Pistoia, didn't matter. Whether I got along with the kids or didn't get along with the kids, didn't matter, because I always had my ball. So I can always pick up my basketball, I can always hop on my bike, I can always go to the park, and I can always shoot, right? And that gave me a great source of comfort.
Jumper's not hot enough, and the rebound is to Scott. Scott to Magic Johnson. Magic in the front court, good transition. Bounce down the middle. Green slammed up. He's going to be stolen, I think, by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rocked the baby to sleep and slammed up. Parrish back out to Dennis. Dennis looks for Dange. Gives it to him, top of the key. Over to Bird. Bird's three-pointer and away. Good!
My mom's father, Grandpa Cox, used to record all the games, and he used to box them up and send us copies of them, and I would sit there at home and watch these games over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
Beautiful defense for the Lakers. The pass to Magic. Under the Kareem slam. Well, he's fighting in this game. Tried to get it away, but broken up by Daly. And gets it away to Jordan. Oh, showtime for Mr. Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ.
I saw NBA game. I saw other players around me. Everybody was there, and I could see it as clear as day. It was a place that I could go to and not be alone.
All right, down to the left side, Battle drives the face. He's in, he scores. And he's fouled. 16 by Battle.
I remember I realized that I had to learn how to go coast to coast because that's what John Battle from the Atlanta Hawks did. John Battle, like, you know, most people probably don't know who John Battle is, but I do. Because from watching him get a rebound, go coast to coast with his left hand, even though he was right-handed, whoa, I need to do that.
Battle left to right, leaping lane, the jumper 15, good.
Perpetual motion. He is difficult to stay with. Moves left, moves right, gets himself open for the shot.
I wanted to do what those guys do on TV. You know, it was like this mythical thing.
Defense, oh, Battle gets away. He made it. They let him have it. All you had to do was foul. That's all you had to do was foul. And this game was history. Now Battle. Green floated on by. And Battle buried it.
6 to 9 months is the very earliest, and in all probability it's a year. And the real question, which you've hit on, is will he ever be the same? And many of our best basketball players, Isaiah Thomas, Shaq, Barkley, all retired after this injury.
The game for me has always been about passion until probably about the age of 13. So it was all about kind of love. It was fun. You know, I went out and played and, you know, had a good time. Well, once we moved back to America for good, when I was 13 years old, I kind of moved in about November or so in the school year at Ballackinwood Middle School. And it was different. I mean, I didn't understand the slang. As a little Italian boy, I didn't understand the fashion. And I couldn't spell. So the teacher told my mother that I was probably dyslexic. It was like somebody took me and dropped me in a bucket, in a tub of ice cold water, because it shocked the shit out of me. I didn't know anybody, very awkward, skinny looking, barely spoke. Sitting at a lunch table all by myself, no friends. And I was upset that I had moved. And I had all this, resentment and anger inside of me that I hadn't really let out. It was never viewed as, I'm going to control this thing. It was more like, you know what? I'm just gonna delay the eruption. I'm just gonna push it to the side and then use it to my benefit for what it is that I love doing, which is playing the game. And once I discovered that, everything about the game changed. Because now I understood that I could really lose myself through the game. And no matter what affected me, no matter what happened in life, I could always step on the basketball court and let my game speak to that. Step on that court and just absolutely erupt. That feeling of playing with that rage was new to me, but I fucking loved it. There's a choice that we have to make as people, as individuals. If you want to be great at something, it's a choice that you have to make. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make a choice. What I mean by that is the inherent sacrifices that come along with that. Family time, hanging out with your friends, being a great friend, right? Being a great son, nephew, whatever the case may be. There's sacrifices that come along with making that decision.
Celebration is on for the Aces, and look at the media chasing Kobe Bryant. They want a shot of him because this just may be this young man's last game before heading to the NBA.
In your heart of hearts, do you think you're good enough right now to play in the NBA next year?
It's good to have self-confidence.
I want to learn how to become the best basketball player in the world. And if I'm going to learn that, I got to learn from the best. Kids go to school to be doctors or lawyers or so forth and so on, and that's where they study. That's the place for them to study. My place to study is from the best.
Kobe Bryant, I have decided to skip college and take my talent to the NBA.
I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So at the age of 18, this was my life. right? So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't because you have other things. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
We'll put the rich guy in the middle.
Growing up in Italy, I was such a big Laker fan. Like a massive Laker fan. Like I knew everything about them. I was obsessed with Magic. I used to work on my skyhook every single day, and then, to be like Kareem. And then I worked on the baby hooks to be like Magic. And I worked on my runners to be like James Worthy, my left-hand hook runners, right-hand hook runners, and my pull-up jump shot in transition like Byron Scott. And scoring 40, 50, 60 points, 80 points. I'd have those dreams. And so 100% of the time when I imagine these things, I had on a Laker uniform. Golden jersey, baby. This was like dream come true.
Eldon Campbell back on the floor with Rooks, and Kobe Bryant making his first appearance in Madison Square Garden. 18 years of age, and he'll go to the free throw line. Now, let's give you some perspective. This is the third game of the season. A year ago at this time, in his third game for Lower Merion High School, Kobe Bryant was leading the Lower Merion Aces to a victory over Haverford High School. There is his first point in the NBA. And it comes at the age of 18 years, 2 months, and a couple of days.
All season, I was just waiting and waiting for my opportunity to come. I wanted to prove that I was better than they thought I was. I wanted to prove to myself that I'm better than they think I was. And I was mentally preparing myself and visualizing the moment that would come where, I lead the Los Angeles Lakers to a victory.
Knight comes off the backboard to Shaq for the rebound. Wrapped around pass, the mustard's off the hot dog. Kobe, don't do that. You know you're going to wear out your pants in the pine doing that.
There were times I'd sit the bench for 7 straight games and then play the last 20 seconds of a game and then look around and see other players around the league that are out there playing and performing and setting the league on fire.
Iverson has Jordan. The crowd is into it. Allen shakes free. Gets two!
Comes to Ray Allen. He's going to right down the middle and jam.
I knew I could play with these guys because I had seen them up close. I knew I could compete with them, but I wasn't getting the opportunity to show it.
There's Kobe on the bench, itching to get in.
One of the things that I always used to do is get in my car and drive around the campus of UCLA. And I'd see kids hanging out in fraternity houses and just walking around. I just wanted to feel that. Just wanted to feel that. And then I'd even wonder, fuck, did I make the wrong choice, man? Did I fuck up? I could be going to college and laughing and hanging out with these kids, man, and having a good time and enjoying it. But no, here I am.
It's Game 5 of the best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal. The Utah Jazz leading this series 3-1. Lakers do not have a timeout. 11.3 to play in regulation. You see the score.
Before each series, we got a binder, and it had all the plays and the players and the statistics. And I mean, I really studied it. Like, I really studied it. And I didn't know most of the players took the books and, you know, just kind of left them in their rooms or whatever. I really studied them. Like, I knew the sets. I knew the percentages. I knew, you know, and I just tried to be as prepared as possible because this was like, I didn't want to mess up.
This has been a game for Los Angeles that obviously they need to win. Boston, they're eliminated from the playoffs, and here we go. Kobe Bryant will take it.
Guarded by Russell. 5 seconds left. 4. Bryant drives. Pull up. Shot on the way. No good. We go to overtime.
I'll say this, for an 18-year-old to take this shot when it's on the line, let's give him some credit for that.
Then feeds to a wide open Kobe Bryant.
Three, another air ball. He shoots back-to-back air ball. Jazz basketball.
You see how strong-minded he is, because that hurts confidence both in Kobe and his teammates throwing him the ball. He has shot 2 air balls in a row. He's got to come up and play like it's nothing. You just missed the shot. That's all that happened.
Gilroy. Bryant Exo backs it out. Straight away to Kobe Bryant. Bryant for 3. It's short again. Air ball. Air ball. Not looking. 3 times. He shot air ball.
You're just going to keep on going no matter what. When you fail 10 times, that 11th time is going to be great. It's not the 11th time, the 12th time is going to be great. But eventually, it's going to happen.
15 seconds to go, a chance to tie, and Exo with it.
Got a chance if it gets close to 5.
Bryant for the tie, another air ball.
It's over. It's over. Abu believe. It's over. It's all over.
We flew back to LA that night, and I got home. It's probably like 3 in the morning. And I went down to the high school, which is down the street from our house. And the janitor let me in the gym, and I shot all day. All day. I mean, all day. And this was right after that playoff game. And I didn't leave the gym. I just kept shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting and practicing and practicing. And I got a chance to let out the steam of disappointing my teammates and millions of fans. I got a chance to let all that out instead of bottling it up and envision that moment over and over and over and over and over. That was a huge summer for me because I felt like everybody had written me off after those air balls. And I was really excited when the schedule came out and I saw we had Utah.
Tonight in the season opener, the Los Angeles Lakers host the Utah Jazz. Kobe comes underneath, lays it up and in with a 360 turn, a head and shoulder fake. The hips were flying, the feet were moving, the arms were going, and he put in a flutter ball. Kobe with the ball. He just made a great move a second ago. He's against Anderson. Over the base, beats Anderson. Reverse layup. That's good with the left hand. He went underneath and brought it back with the left hand, did he not?
Yes, he did.
87-77.
Being ambidextrous.
Yeah.
I came through really big in the clutch. Really big in the clutch. And I remember just feeling really like vindicated. Like for me, it was a really big deal. For the veterans, they probably didn't give a shit about it. It was just another regular season game. But for me, it was a big deal.
Yeah, count it.
Basket is good.
Well, did you see him finish that play, Chick?
Yes, I did. Does he can jump out.
You have come so far in 1 year. That's because you worked so hard in the summer?
I definitely did. I was a student of the game. I tried to understand things that I wasn't doing very well last season and try to add them into my game. And it's difficult because you have to break habits. So that was the hardest adjustment.
But this year you're getting more minutes, and obviously a guy can play better when he's not looking over his shoulder to see if the coach can take him out.
Right, well, when you play more minutes, you naturally get better because that's experience out there on the court.
You're going to get all kinds of endorsements, which you're already getting. You got to get somebody that sells toothpaste. You got beautiful teeth.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, he might be only 18 years and 5 months old, but this guy can do everything that the veterans can do and do it better, perhaps. Yes.
Here we got a dribble drive, change of direction by Bryant. Slam dunk. How good is this kid?
The most important thing is you must put everybody on notice that you're here and you're for real. I'm not a player that's just going to come and go. I'm not a player that's going to make an all-star team 1 time, 2 times. I'm here to be an all-time great. Once I've made that commitment and said I want to be one of the greatest ever, then the game became everything for me.
Bryant is guarded by Michael Jordan, and a pull away by Kobe Bryant. And even Michael Jordan will tell you that Kobe Bryant, the future of the NBA. Wow.
You realize how good he is. He's actually in his second year of college, and well, certainly he's learned a lot, and he's certainly going to learn a lot more. He's going to be a lot better if he keeps improving.
He's been voted by the fans to start in next Sunday's All-Star game, making him the youngest player in NBA All-Star history.
He's got the ball in his hands again. To Garnett, back to Kobe!
Have you ever seen a young man like Kobe Bryant so confident at his age and so mature?
No, never. I think that he showed you things that a lot of, what are you talking about, 19-year-old, a lot of the guys 25 and 30, 35 can't even do.
He faked a wraparound pass behind his back and sets the crowd on fire.
It's like that scene in the movie where everything just magically happens the right way. Everything was clicking. You know, playing the best basketball of my career, the physical aspect, the mental aspect, starting my family. Everything's just rolling.
Kobe! Here's Bryant, 6 on the shot clock. Reggie defending. Kobe 5 shot.
Kobe Bryant. Both teams battling for their collective lives. Kobe's outside hitter.
I can remember winning the championship and kind of being like, well, okay, now what? So wait, what happens now? What happens now? Holy shit, that champagne burns like a motherfucker. All right, let's celebrate. Let's, wave the champagne bottles around. Just don't drop it. Seriously hurt somebody if you drop it. And then outside of that, it was like, okay, now what?
Back-to-back titles for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Kobe Bryant is just 22 years old. There's nothing he can't do. He already has the total package. Shaquille O'Neal, historical, unprecedented what he has done. Here's a guy who is dominating maybe more than any player in NBA history. And the beautiful thing is that they're just getting started.
We're going to get another one next year again. Back to back to back. You make a choice and say, come hell or high water, I'm going to be this. Then you should not be surprised when you are that. It should not be something that feels intoxicating or out of character because you had seen this moment for so long, you had played in your mind for so long that when that moment comes, it's like, of course it's here because it's been here the whole time, because it's been up here the whole time. And, that's what it feels like, at least for me.
Los Angeles Lakers have made it 3 straight. And their champions are a team for the ages.
Good luck. Donna.
2,100.
Actual retail price is $2,999. Donna.
Just having an exorcism.
Everyone loves a delicious baked potato, but cooking them in the oven takes 45 minutes. And when you put them in the microwave, they come out mushy and dry. Introducing Potato Express, the fastest, easiest way to cook perfect baked potatoes in just 4 minutes.
Is it bad?
No, it feels a lot better.
Anywhere else stretch?
No. When I wake up in the morning, though, it's tight, right at the attachment of the tendon and the calcaneus.
Down there?
Yep. Yeah, I don't even know how to spell calcaneus, but I know what the fuck it is. You gotta be able to communicate what the hell's wrong with you.
Let's go. Hey. Play back.
Come on. Right.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome to my first video shoot.
For those that don't know, yes, I had a budding music career as a rapper. It didn't last long, but I did make a video. And on the video set is where I first met Vanessa.
I see the lovely young ladies that I haven't even met yet. How you doing?
Hi.
Kobe.
Nice to meet you. Trinidad.
Trinidad, how you doing?
Thomasina.
Thomasina, how you doing, Thomasina? What's your name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa, how you doing? Pleasure.
I wasn't some big time basketball player at the time either, so it was like, you know, it's a pleasure to meet you. It was a 2-day video shoot, and I was always looking for her. Like, I wanted to know where she was. You know, I would finish a take and then go to my trailer, but I wonder where she is the entire time, and then come out of the trailer and just want to talk to her some more in between takes and stuff like that. And she wrote a phone number down at the time where you had to still write phone numbers down. And I called her the very next day, and we talked for hours.
So, Vanessa, so what's up to the NBA? NBA is Vanessa.
She was just beautiful. We literally did everything together. And I thought I was a big dork because I loved Disneyland. I loved the Disney movies and things like that, but I never really had a chance to go to the park much. And she was a big Disney fan too. And we used to hang out at Disneyland. We used to go to Magic Mountain. She became my best friend, you know? And for me, it was very different to have somebody that I was so close to, because I had been so used to growing up in isolation, really, and moving around from place to place and making new friends all the time. So I never really opened up to anybody because I knew I was just gonna inevitably move. But now, you know, being in Los Angeles and feeling like I'm gonna be a Laker for the rest of my life, and I just met this beautiful woman that I just see the world the same way with. decided to get married. I proposed. She said yes. We're both so young, right? So I'd wake up and I'd go train and I'd come back and she'd still be in the bed sleeping like 18-year-olds do, man. She'd be asleep till like 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, man. And then I'd lay down with her and I'd go to sleep again too. And then, we'd wake up and just, do what kids do. Do what kids do. I'd take her to the batting cage. We'd go hit some balls. Like, we play miniature golf. We go to the movies. We go out to eat. It was a beautiful time, man. When we had Natalia, it was like such a beautiful moment. Because we were starting our own family. And I found so much enjoyment in just being with our baby girl. It was great. And putting together the nursery and, the crib and all those weird baby Einstein, baby Mozart videos where you kind of just hypnotizing your kid. Like, we went through all of that stuff. And when you're young, you really have the tendency to think about your own personal journey. And for us, it was about taking two young people and trying to figure out our journey together and try to grow together, which is a challenge. But when you have a kid, then it becomes even bigger than that, because now you have responsibility of this little life that you have to mold. Going through this time made me ask a lot of questions, and really try to figure out what's important in life and what's everything that I've kind of been holding as significant. The championships and the endorsements, and maybe that's not the most important thing, because I lost sight of what is the most important thing, and that's family. It's a man's job to protect your family. It's a man's job to look out for your family. It's a man's job to always be the anchor of stability for the family. And in that aspect, I failed miserably. I'd wake up in the morning and not know if today is the day where I lose my family. Like, is this the day where it's a wrap? She's just had enough. One of the things that she said, during that time, I hated your guts, but it wasn't about you. It was about Natalia. It was about the fact that I wanted to do everything possible to try to figure this thing out, because I didn't want her growing up in a broken home. And things would have been really easy for her to leave, actually. Especially during that time. It'd been much easier to leave. You leave, you take half the money, and you have your daughter. Life's she's good. But she didn't do that. We were expecting, and expecting our second child during that time, and there was just so much stress. She actually, we actually miscarried, and it's something have a real hard time dealing with that, because I felt like it was just my fault. You know what I mean? Like we should be building our family, because of my mistake. Because it's a tough year. We're not, we lost a baby, and it's we try to justify the fact that it's realize how common miscarriages are, and these things happen, and it's part of the process. But the reality is it happened because of me. That's the reality of it, And that's something I have to deal with. That's something I gotta carry forever. O'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, I would leave the house and I'd go to the park. And I'd just sit at midcourt. I just sit there. I was sitting on the basketball. I was just looking out. I was looking up at the stars. I was looking up at the basket and just kind of looking around. And then I saw myself. 8-year-old self, sitting in front of me on a ball. And then I thought, well, what would I say to me? Knowing now all the pain that I would go through, that my family would go through. I don't know if I'd keep playing the game.
Even despite his great competitive nature, his will to win, his work ethic, you can't expect him to be the same dominant force at 36 and 37 as he was at 26 and 27. As Mark Jackson always said to me, Father Time is undefeated, and it's the truth.
In 2003, I went from a person that was at the top of his game, had everything coming, to a year later having absolutely no idea where life is going, or if you're going to be able to even be a part of life as we all know it. I hear everything that the crowd is saying, and I hear it. So it's like this place where it was my refuge is now being bombarded with all kinds of things that they would say.
And I had to separate myself. Because going through that time, it felt like there's so many things coming at once. It was just becoming very, very confusing. I had to organize things. So I created the Black Mamba.
Mamba, as he's known as, the killer black snake, has the killer look in his eyes right now.
So Kobe has to deal with these issues, all the personal challenges. The Black Mamba steps on the court and does what he does.
Kobe, 3 at the buzzer. The Mamba, see the venom that he's spewing.
I mean, it was just fuck everyone. I'm destroying everybody that stepped on the court.
Kobe with it, guarded by Patterson, staying outside the arc, dribbling. Patterson keeps his feet. Kobe forces it. Oh! He made it! He threw it in! He's torching whomever. 1 second remaining in the regular season. Out to Kobe. Are you kidding me?
And the Lakers have won the Pacific Division title.
I had all this pent up frustration that I needed to let out. It was an avalanche, man. And, there was nothing that was going to get in the way. There was nothing that was going to stop me. It's the battle that's going on within me that I'm carrying with me to these competitions. So it's not about you. It's not about anybody else. You're not making me go. I'm driving this thing, man, and you just so happen to be a person that's in a way that's, that may get demolished in the process.
The second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
Some people sit there and say, y'all keep talking about Kobe being the greatest player in the game today. Y'all don't realize that Kobe trying to be arguably the greatest ever. Your response?
I gotta get a couple more rings.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to?
Yeah, you know what? I won't rest until we do.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could win under a different role, so to speak. Looking at these incredible teams that have been assembled, and there's always, a dynamic duo. And when that duo went separate ways, one was never able to win without the other. And I just felt like it was really important for myself, and as well as for the challenge from others, is to prove that I can lead this team my way. I can put my DNA on a team and carry them to a championship.
Buzz is back in Boston. Celtics fans have waited 21 years for this moment. Chance to play for their 17th championship. But look who's standing in the way. The NBA's MVP, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, the greatest
rivalry in the history of the sport is ready for its next chapter. Kobe's led the league in scoring. He's won All-Star MVPs. He's won championships, but he's different this year, Magic. What's the best advice you gave him before the season?
Well, I pulled him aside and said, hey, if you want to be considered like Michael Jordan, you have to now make your teammates better. You have to become a better leader, and then you have to trust your teammates. He's taken the guys out to dinner 3 or 4 times this year.
He never did that before.
No, never did it before. But look at him now. That's why they're in the championship.
We are naturally assholes. When we ran into a team that was that, they were just much, much tougher, much, much meaner, much nastier. And they whooped us pretty good.
After a 22-year absence, the Boston Celtics are NBA champions once again.
I overcompensated for how I drove my teammates. It was thinking maybe I was too hard on them. And so throughout the course of the year, I didn't challenge them enough. It was just about not being this gregarious, put my arm around you even when you fuck up. Oh, you're doing great, you're doing great. That's just not me.
Kobe, you won the MVP, you led the team to the finals. How do you characterize this season?
Well, I mean, the goal was to win a championship. You know, it wasn't to win MVP or anything like that. It was to win a championship. So, you know, from that aspect, we failed.
If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down my way and leading my way. And this team is gonna have my personality. They're gonna have my grit. They're gonna have my fight. They're gonna have my will, my competitive spirit. And so when we step on that basketball court, you're not facing me and just my competitive fire, but you're facing 12 of those. And the challenge became, how do I get that done? For me, it is that ferocity or that anger, rage, and I can carry that with me. Now it became, how do I instill this to the rest of my guys, to the rest of my teammates? Using the darker emotions, the anger or resentment or frustration and sadness, and using that as a weapon, using that as a form of offense. It's a scar. It's pain. It's a bad memory. Some people are probably afraid to tap into that side of them, but it's such a powerful thing.
Once they own it themselves, then the sky is the limit, because they're going to drive themselves and pull it from who they are and all of their life experiences and things that have motivated them.
Matter of fact, put your hands off me. Don't touch me the rest of the scrimmage. Put your hands off me.
Just start driving, needling them, right? Pushing them.
The smoke has cleared and 2 remain standing. The Lakers and Magic tipping off the 09 NBA Finals in LA.
Kobe Bryant as focused as I've ever seen him in his entire career. You talk about a guy with one mindset, that's to win.
Power.
Yo. What's up, ready?
Looks inside, finds Gasol. Gasol, count it. And a foul.
They had to embrace the villain nature that's in all of us. They gave them a platform to unleash.
Another steal. Odom to Gasol. Back to Odom. Up and under it. Maxey. What a run for the Lakers. Spins it away. Beautiful pass. Gasol. Right hand up. 87-84. One possession game. With another clutch three.
NBA championship. How are you different as a man and a player than you were 7 years ago, the last time you won a championship?
I think you just get better. You just grow as a person, you grow as a man, and you just try to figure out the best way to lead these guys.
Hungry for title number 5 personally, but number 16 for his franchise.
The Lakers have kind of played flag football. They better get ready for tackle football tonight, because the Boston Celtics are going to hit them. How are the Lakers going to react?
Here's an Artest already grappling. It took 27 seconds for these two to go at it a bit.
The proposition of losing to these guys in the finals again, and knowing what that means as a Laker fan, and having watched Jerry West lose to the Celtics over and over and over again in the duel between Magic and Bird, and now I am a part of this incredible rivalry. And what's going to set about us, this team, is that we lost to the Celtics twice. No, I don't think so. That we have a bond now that unites us forever. We have a bond that'll never be broken because Lion looked us in the face and we looked back. Was not only to win one, but it was to win multiple ones. And to be able to sit at the same lunch table with my muses, Michael, Magic. I want to be able to sit down at the same table with them and belong there. And I'm very proud to be able to say I can do that.
I do think with Kobe, there is a whole lot of pride in it, just as there's pride in a lot of players, but that if his level dips and he's just another guy, I don't think he wants any part of that at all.
It's constant stretching, it's constant ice baths, it's constant modalities and massage and eating the right things, drinking the right things. It's a lifestyle, it's a full-time commitment. And I'm no spring chicken, but that's okay. Like, I can figure my way around it.
This is going to be, for all intents and purposes, the first time we have seen Kobe Bryant since tearing the Achilles. This is hopefully the foundation for Kobe moving forward, recovering from that injury, and as he will tell you, he is stoked out of his mind to be there.
I can feel the energy in the building, the sounds of the cameras flashing, the smell, popcorn. Like the sounds, people walking around, preparing for the game. You can feel the intensity in the air. There's an energy that you can tap into. It's like a frequency that you can tap into.
What time is it? Game time.
And once you feel it, then everything becomes you. You become everything.
And the other guard wears number 24, 6'6", 19th season from Lower Marion High School, Kobe Bryant.
I love what I do. And it's as simple as that. I get so much enjoyment from it. The game has made me a better man, a better husband, better father, a better friend. Better teacher. It's helped me figure out who I am. It's been my confidant, it's been my best friend, psychiatrist, everything. It's the seed that started everything for me. Everything grew from this ball.
Here in the NBA, that man right there, Kobe Bryant, stands at 32,291 points. One behind Michael Jordan for third all-time on the scoring list. The crowd on its feet.
As I sit here now, when I take off my shoe and I look down at my scar, I see beauty in that. Because I see all the hard work, all the sacrifices. I see that journey that it took to get back to this point of being healthy. And I see the beauty in that struggle. That's what makes it beautiful.
Dunks it home as he goes baseline.
Wow. Yeah, that right arm, boy, it's just there. And that's on his shooting shoulder.
But it's just a sore right shoulder is what the Lakers are calling it.
Kobe has gone back to the locker room. Now we'll be the topic of conversation throughout the next day or so, obviously, the health of Bryant.
Let's see what kind of strength you have here. Go ahead and slip that off. That's where the damage is to your cuff. Let me see you raise it to the side. Don't let me rotate it down. Resist me. Any pain? And keep your elbow pointed out towards me. Now I want to feel how much pressure you can push in. Good. All right. Good. Okay. This dark area here, that's the rotator cuff cable. It's not attaching to bone here. So there's only one direction that this tear is going to go. It's going to get worse. This is not going to get better. This tear is a pretty big tear already. Your normal daily function, aside from basketball, raising your arm, doing activities of daily living, certainly lifting your kids, playing around, that sort of thing with the arm in this position is going to get tougher. I think that this is going to need to be fixed because it will cause a problem for you. And we like to try to fix these things when you're younger and the tear is smaller. And what's best for your shoulder is to get it fixed soon.
God, I just don't know if I'm going to deal with another fucking 9 months of some shit.
No, I know. And it seems that with the way your injuries have happened, the second part of your season, your off season, has been dominated by rehab and rather than an off season.
At what point do you feel like you're holding on to something that's not there? And right, and at what point do your determination and your drive, become unreasonable or something that's just not possible? When do you know? Like, when does that moment happen when you know now is the time to let go? This is the moment to walk away. Like, do you ever truly know that? And I don't know if you do. I don't know if there's ever a moment which is the right moment. I don't know if that moment ever comes. Determines when it's up for you. When we say this cannot be accomplished, this cannot be done, then we are shortchanging ourselves. My brain cannot process failure. It will not process failure. Because if I sit there and have to face myself and tell myself, you're a failure, I think that's almost worse than death.
Your love is bright as ever, even in the shadows. Baby, kiss me before they turn the lights out. Your heart is glowing, and I'm crashing into you. Baby, kiss me before they turn the lights out. Before they turn the lights out.